I know that some of you watching might not know what to do when someone asks your opinion. You might have an opinion but be worried about voicing it. You might have multiple opinions but you're not sure how to communicate them all. Or you might have no opinion at all. What you say in response to the question, what is your opinion, is incredibly important for ambitious emerging leaders because it's the only way you're going to allow people to see your level of knowledge, your level of expertise, and your level of competence too. And the way you answer this question, what is your opinion, will really depend on which of the three scenarios I've just described that you fit into. So let's start by looking at the very first scenario, which is when you have an opinion but you're worried about voicing it. Here, there's obviously something that is holding you back from giving your opinion. You might be intimidated because you're with senior executives and it's to those senior executives you need to give your opinion to. You might be scared because you're with people who you feel might challenge your opinion, or you might be worried about giving the wrong opinion. There could be a number of things that are holding you back from giving your opinion, and most of the work that you need to do in this scenario is to identify what is holding you back. What are you afraid of? What do you really think people will do or will say when you actually give your opinion? Try to write that fear down. Try to be as clear as possible as to what is holding you back. What is the fear that you have? What are you worried will happen? Because most of the time when you go through this process of identifying the fear and identifying what is holding you back and you write it down on paper, most of the time you'll realize that that fear is actually unjustified, unrealistic, and unlikely to happen. Then once you've identified that fear, once you have overcome that mental block and you are in a mental state where you're a lot more prepared to share your opinion, then you can go on and share your opinion using structures like these. My opinion on this is simple. My honest thought about XYZ is... For example, when giving your opinion to your boss about a potential new hire, you might say something like this. My honest opinion about hiring this person is that even though they don't have the right education, they do have a lot of experience and I think the right skill to do this job well. And don't forget to ask the opinion of the other person because it's not a monologue, it's not a lecture. That person probably asked for your opinion because they want to ignite a conversation. So it's only courteous for you to ask in return what their opinion is. Do they agree with you or do they disagree with you? And why? Moving on to the second scenario. So here you might have multiple opinions, multiple things that you want to say to the other person. But because you have so many opinions, you're actually not really sure how you should structure and how you should communicate all of this information to that person. This is really an issue of structure or more lack of structure that is preventing you from easily communicating all of the opinions that you have. And what you need to do here is to have one or two structures memorized in your mind that you can call on when you need to share multiple opinions to other people. I'm going to share with you a couple of different structures that you can use. These structures are very simple, so they'll be really easy for you to memorize. The first structure is when you want to express opinions that are different or that are separate in some way. And the core structure here that you'll need to use is this. I think there are two ways we can look at this issue. The first is, then you announce that first opinion and you expand on that opinion. The second is, and you announce that opinion and then you expand on that opinion. I think there are two ways we can look at the issue of who to hire. The first is to place importance on education. Is education the most important criteria when deciding who is a successful job candidate? The second way is to place importance on experience. Is on-the-job experience more important to us than education? Using this method of stating that you have two opinions or three opinions or four or maybe even five opinions and then expanding on each opinion as you express them is a great way to express and to tell others that you have multiple opinions and to share those multiple opinions in a structured way. Personally, when people use this numbering system, I really love it because I find it's much easier to follow what they have to say. You can follow as they go through each point or each number that they want to talk about, and you really can develop an expectation as to how long they're going to be talking for. The second structure that you can use to express multiple opinions is to express your opinion using advantages and disadvantages, and this is how you would go about doing it. I see both advantages and disadvantages with XYZ. One advantage is, and then you would explain that advantage. Another advantage is, and then you would explain that advantage. The disadvantage is, and then you would explain that disadvantage. You can continue on with however many advantages or disadvantages you see. Let's look at how to do this using this example. I see both advantages and disadvantages with hiring candidate B. One advantage is that they have the right education, which will be great for our brand image. Another advantage is that they have a great personality, so we know they're going to fit really well into our team. But a disadvantage is that they don't have a lot of experience, so we're not quite sure if they're going to be able to do the job well. Using this method of stating the advantages and disadvantages when you're asked, what is your opinion on something? This allows you to express multiple opinions and in an open way. Because you shared your opinions in an open way, this helps to invite discussion from other people in the room. They will respond to your advantages and disadvantages. They will share their opinions and their perspectives. This will lead to a discussion amongst the people in the room and hopefully a conclusion as well. And the third scenario is when you don't have any opinion at all. So in some cases, when someone asks, what is your opinion? You might be stuck for words and you might not actually have any opinion to share with them. Sometimes this happens if you don't understand the question that was asked of you, or other times it can happen if the topic being discussed is too advanced or you're unfamiliar with it, or it's a bit too cryptic for you to respond to. In either case, if you don't understand, it's going to be really hard for you to give an opinion. What you need to do in this scenario is you need to focus on learning more. So you could clarify the question. If it's the question you didn't understand, clarify it so that you can share your opinion in response to that question. Or you could learn more about the topic that's being discussed so that you can craft an opinion of your own. Here are some sample phrases that you can use to clarify the question that is being asked. What exactly do you mean by that? And you can specifically ask them about the word or the phrase that they used in their question. I don't understand the word or the phrase that you used. Could you elaborate on that for me? And with this, you have redirected the discussion so that you can develop a better understanding and develop an opinion. Now, when you don't know enough about the topic, here are some sample phrases that you can use. Can you tell me more about XYZ so I can understand more about that issue? I need to understand more about the topic before I can contribute. Could you give me a description of what you mean by XYZ? And just like that, you start to develop more knowledge and information about the topic that's being discussed, and hopefully you will be able to form an opinion of your own. The reason I wanted to make this video is because I was always surprised when somebody would ask me, what is your opinion? First, I wasn't used to giving my opinion. Growing up, I grew up in an environment where nobody ever really asked what my opinion was. So I didn't know how to formulate my opinion or how to express an opinion. And second, I didn't realize that my opinion or my thoughts or my ideas mattered. I didn't think that they were important. So whenever somebody would ask my opinion, I wouldn't have the confidence to actually voice it. So this is really an issue of self-confidence and then also family upbringing or background experience. So it took me some time to overcome these issues. First, to learn how to give my opinion, and second, to learn that other people actually wanted to hear my opinion and that they would value my opinion. It took me quite a while to actually overcome these issues, but being on the other side of this now, I realized that having an opinion and expressing that opinion in business and in leadership is incredibly important, and it is a fantastic way to help you build visibility and to help you stand out as somebody with leadership potential. This is what I expand on in these 2 videos up here. So if you want to learn more about visibility building and standing out at work, make sure you watch those next. Thank you so much for watching this video. I do hope you liked it. Hope you got some valuable insights from it. If you did like it, please hit the like button below. Subscribe to my channel as well, and make sure you hit the notification bell so that you get notified every time I release a new video, because I release them every week. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next video.